This is a story that a lot of our fellow boat builders can likely relate to. This is going to be funny. You're going to want to stick around. I thought it was funny. Lori thought it was funny, so therefore it must be funny. So, anyways, here we go. So one evening I wandered down to the local pub. Some old buddies, Jim, Patty, and Mick, were tucked away in the far corner sipping on some drafts. Not seeing anyone else interesting in the pub, I wandered over and sat down, giving the usual greetings and digs about their heredity, as the three of them all looked like identical triplets. Ha, I said, the three brothers from different mothers. All I got in response was,
Asshole. Jerk. Fucknut.
ah, those guys love me. Anyhow, I sat down to order a draft, which, by the way, happened to be already on its way. Before I had half of it down my throat, the conversation turned to my boat building project. Oh shit, I thought. Here we go again. The same stupid questions as every other time we get together, but it's expected when alcohol is involved. But basically, here's how the conversation went. Patty starts off with the same questions he asks every frickin' time.
When's it going in the water?
My standard answer is, next weekend, ya ass. Next up, it's Jimmy's turn to get a dig in.
Are you planning to sail to the moon?
I'm just waiting for my 33 Raptor engines to come from SpaceX and NASA to approve my flight plan. I could see Mick sipping on his beer and looking like he was in deep thought. Anyhow, he comes up with a zinger.
Is this your midlife crisis project?
No, Mick. That was the time I tried to learn to play the bagpipes. Some stranger from 2 tables over chimes in.
Are you building a pirate ship?
Aye, matey, just waiting for me parrot to sober up. Oh god, it's catchy. I suspect a conspiracy. The cute waitress approaches the table and overhears what's going on. Being a bit of a smartass herself, she says,
Will they have Wi-Fi?
I said, of course. That was installed right after the built-in coffee vending machine. Patty, feeling a little left out of the conversation, gets his next dig in.
Can I have a ride when it's done?
Sure, Patty. You're always welcome aboard, but only if you bring lots of rum, hot chicks in bikinis, and snacks. I felt a tap on my shoulder, and when I looked, a very nice older lady asked me,
Are you going to live on it?
Yes, ma'am. We're downsizing from our 50-room mansion. The cute waitress is back with her tray of draft. She's got a sly smile on her face and asks,
Is it going to have a hot tub?
I said, no, but it will have a gangplank if you feel the need to get wet. I can always tell when Jimmy's working hard to think up a doozy. He downs his beer for courage and then asks,
Are you building it for a movie?
I said, aye, Jimmy. It's the sequel to Waterworld starring Johnny Depp as me. There's this one smart ass hat that frequents the pub. Nobody likes him. He passes our table on the way to the head and quips,
Will it have a helicopter pad?
No, but it will have a landing pad for UAPs. That's UFOs to you. I'll let you know when they're ready to pick you up. So I walks up to the bar to get the boys some peanuts and pretzels. It's what they call an Irish pub lunch. The bartender greets me with a smart-ass question.
Are you going to name it Titanic too?
No, I'm thinking more along the lines of Bodie McBoatface. I hope you're not expecting a tip. Getting back to the table, instead of a thank you from the boys, Patty hits me with this.
In all seriousness, are you sure you'll get it out of the backyard?
No, that's a problem for future me. To which Patty immediately spits out his beer into the peanuts. As we're cleaning up Patty's mess, the nice lady behind me taps me on the shoulder again and asks,
Are you building it by yourself?
Without thinking that this is a serious question, I blurt out, no, all my imaginary friends are helping. Mick, who's been uncharacteristically quiet, has a moment of clarity and asks one of his patented questions.
Is it going to have a swimming pool?
Nah, Mick, and if you keep asking me that question, I'm going to launch it in your swimming pool. Jimmy decides it's his turn to try and get under my skin.
Are you going to sell it when it's done?
Only if someone offers me a small island in the tropics in exchange. The cute waitress brings us back a fresh bowl of peanuts. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today to watch our silly little video. If you're new here, my name is Rick, and with my wife Lori, who's on the sick list. We're building a 31.5-foot diesel trawler in our backyard. The boat's name is Sago. It's a 31.5-foot diesel trawler. It's got a 4-cylinder Yanmar, 55 horsepower turbo. It's being built to cruise extensively on Canada's inland waterways and the waterways of the United States. So, again, thank you to all our new subscribers, which has been a great year for us. And we're doing a season recap, but Lori being on the injured list and both of us having pretty severe colds, we've put that off. But there is a script, and we practiced it, and look for that video coming out soon. So I won't keep you any longer. We're going to get back to the silly questions that most boat builders or boat restorers get asked. The cute waitress brings us back a fresh bowl of peanuts.
Are you planning to sail around the world?
Being a sweet young Gen Xer, I said yes, but only if I could find a good Spotify playlist for the whole trip. Patty's got a half-dozen draft under his belt now, and he's feeling a little cheeky.
Are you going to paint it pink?
No, Patty, I'm going for more subtle puke green, a color I'm sure you're familiar with. Mick, following Patty's mood, decides he wants to contribute another zinger.
Is it going to have a secret room?
Sure is, Mick, but I can't tell you where it is, because then I would have to kill your sorry ass. For the third time, the nice lady behind me taps me on the shoulder.
Are you going to have a grand launch party?
Yes, ma'am, complete with fireworks, clowns, petting zoo, and a marching band. You should come. Bring the grandkids. So the asshat that passed us by on the way to the head is on his return trip to the table. He must have taken a huge dump. He decides to get another dig in.
Are you building it for a bet?
I said no, but I might start taking bets on if it will float or not. Are you in for a 50? Patty says with a very serious look on his face.
This is a serious question. How much have you spent so far?
More than enough to make Bill Gates' wallet cry. Then he follows up with this comeback.
How much will you have in it when it's done?
Probably not as much as my house is worth, Patty, but definitely a lot more than your house is worth. Another pub patron, sitting a couple of tables over away, has been listening to this animated exchange. He comes over and asks,
"Where will you go?"
I said, "Anywhere the wife lets me go with my $25 diesel allotment." Jimmy looks at me kind of coy-looking and spews in another zinger.
When can I drive it?
I give him the serious look. Jimmy, as soon as you get your captain's license, a blessing from Poseidon, and a signed permission slip from my wife. The nice pub patron from before returns and asks a serious question. I think he deserves a serious answer.
How far can you go?
With two 58-gallon fuel tanks, I can cruise at 7 knots and burn about 1 gallon per hour. So pretty far, if I don't get distracted by floating ice cream trucks and mermaids. That works out to be 812 nautical miles or 1,504 kilometers. I could go on and on, folks, but maybe another day. There's always something new that pops up when talking boats. I hope you got a chuckle out of some of these. We should be back working on Sago in a month or so when the weather warms up a bit. I'm still waiting on my white oak order. That's a pisser. Weather permitting, there may be a few small projects. I'll share those when I can. So from Lori and I, be well and happy, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Building Sago. Cheers.